Hello and welcome to Unit 15 of Interchange Book 1, and this video is about messages with tell and ask. So let's get started. Donna, Katie and Francine are trying to arrange a bachelorette party for their friend Susanna.
I can't believe Suze is getting married.
She's so lucky. Cliff is a great guy.
I know, so exciting. We can throw a bachelorette party for her.
I was thinking the same. We should go to a different country, somewhere in Europe.
Great idea. My friend Amy is a travel agent.
That's convenient. Could you ask her to meet us one day?
Sure. When do we want to go on our trip?
Would you tell her that we want to go when it's cheap?
Okay, sure. I'll text her now.
2 minutes later.
So I've written, "Hi Amy, could you meet my friends and I one day? We want to book a trip. And we want to go when it's cheap. Anything else?"
Could you tell her that we're all available next Friday?
Okay. We're all available next Friday. Thanks. Yay! I'm so excited!
So the grammar that we're looking at in this video is messages with tell and ask. So messages are when we communicate with someone indirectly, okay? And in these messages we will use ask for a request and tell for a statement or a fact. So first let's have a look at this example. So this one uses ask, and one of the girls from the dialogue asked, "Could you ask her to meet us one day?" So the structure, well, it always starts with a modal, like could or would, okay? Could you ask her to meet us one day? And we've used ask, and ask is always used in conjunction with the infinitive. And remember, infinitives are to and the verb in its base form. Could you ask her to meet us one day? So the person who has received this indirect request sends the direct request. "Hi Amy, could you meet my friends and I one day?" So this is the direct request. So let's have a look a little bit more at the structure. So if we use quasvo, okay? So this is how the request is formed. So the requests are kind of like yes or no questions. So we don't need a question word. We always start with a modal. So could. Then we have the subject, you. And then we have the verb, ask. And then the object, which is him. Could you ask him? Okay, so already this part of the request has used all of quasvo. Okay, could you ask him? And then we need to add the infinitive when we use ask. So could you ask him to cook? So the infinitive is to cook. Could you ask him to cook dinner tonight? So the dinner tonight is the rest of the information. So that's the structure. So the modal, the subject, the verb, the object, and then the infinitive. Could you ask him to cook? Could you ask him to cook dinner tonight? So the structure at the end will look a little bit like an imperative. So after to we have cook dinner tonight. And this sounds like an instruction. We've got cook, which is a verb, and dinner tonight, which is an imperative form. So that's another way you could think about structuring it. Could you ask him to cook dinner tonight? So could you ask him to, and then an instruction. Cook dinner tonight. So now let's look at tell. So tell again starts with a modal, goes to the subject, and then we have tell in the verb position. Would you tell? And her is the object, and then we have that. Okay, the that actually is optional. You could say, would you tell her that we want to go when it's cheap? Or you could also say, Would you tell her we want to go when it's cheap? Okay. So after that we just have a statement, okay? Would you tell her that we want to go when it's cheap? And so when we send the direct message, we would say exactly what it says after that. We want to go when it's cheap, and then here we want to go when it's cheap. Okay? So again, let's look at the structure a little bit more. So remember, we don't have anything in the question word position. So we have the modal, would, then the subject, you, then the verb, tell, then the object, her. Would you tell her? And as you can see, this is the question part. We've used all of quasi-verb. Would you tell her? And then with tell, we have the optional use of that. And then after that, we add the statement that we want her to tell. So would you tell her that the game is on Sunday? Okay. So let's have a look at a direct message, okay? Hi Jay, the party is at 5 tonight. Now let's change this into a more indirect message. So hi Jay, the party is at 5 tonight. The party is at 5 tonight. So that's not a request, that's a statement. So we should have tell. So there you go. We said, could you tell Jay? Here's the object. And then what could we use in this structure? We could use that. And then the statement, could you tell Jay that the party is at 5 tonight? And you can see the exact same phrase is used in the message. The party is at 5 tonight. Could you tell Jay the party is at 5 tonight? Okay, and one more. Messages with tell and ask. Okay. So, Davy, could you call Phil today? Okay. So, this is a request because it's a question, okay? Could you call Phil today? This is a question. So, we're going to use ask. So, would you ask Davy? So, Davy is the object of this one. Would you ask Davy to call me today? So we have the infinitive and then me today. And remember, one way to structure it is it's like to, and then call me today is like an instruction. Would you ask Davy to call me today? Okay, so that's everything. So if you'd like to do some more practice in the activity below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.